Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. It's not very long since we last saw each other. But anyway, do you know what? When I was watching Aquaman the first time, right, when I saw the preview, right, I was thinking Black Manta, standalone movie, gonna happen, got to happen. And guess what? Geoff Johns agrees with me. He has said he wants to see a Black Manta standalone movie. Listen, there's going to be a lot of spin-offs from Aquaman because it's about to make over $1 billion globally before the end of its run. So there's going to be spin-offs. Warner Brothers and DC Universe would be stupid not to do that. Be very interesting how they would do a Black Manta film. Would Arthur Curry be involved? Would he cameo a little bit, or would they just let the strength of the character of Black Manta shine through? It's a big opportunity for DC. It's going to happen. They're going to greenlight it. Black Manta is a phenomenal character within the DC Comics universe. So what do I think of Black Manta in Aquaman? I thought he was fabulous. A lot of critics didn't like him. Thought he was underused, wasn't used the right way. I liked it. I liked his backstory. I liked what the actor did with it. The suit was awesome. The lasers were awesome. Coming out the eyes. Wow. The suit was great. I loved it. I loved the whole thing. What did people really expect from this character? It's the first movie. They've got to get in. It's a kind of origin movie as well. But I thought Black Manta was brilliant. And I felt the emotions of him losing his father and begging Aquaman, a.k.a. Arthur Curry, to save his father. And when he refuses, that's when they become enemies. And I believe him. I believe that he hates him now and he wants to kill him. So, very interesting. So, how could you do a standalone Black Manta movie? Well, I think if you kind of set it after Aquaman and don't do any prequels. Prequels, as we all know, are so difficult to get right. But I think if you set it continuing for his search for Aquaman, and the arc of the character will be the hate, the hate inside of him for Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman. I think that would fuel the character story, and I think that would really work. So the whole idea of the film would be his search for Aquaman, and every time he thinks he's found him, he's lost him. So it's the whole. He's literally searching now. While he's looking for Aquaman, what does he do? Is he a villain or is he a hero? Well, we mix it up a little bit, where sometimes he's kind of doing villainous things, and sometimes he does good things. Maybe he makes friends with someone that starts to change him, and then he has to make the decision to stay with this person who he's friends with or who is a love interest, or carry on and find Aquaman and kill Aquaman. What does he choose? To strive for the hate or strive for the love? And ultimately, he's going to choose hate because he's Black Manta. But it's those dividing emotions. So I would love to see a Black Manta standalone movie. I think it would really work. And as I say, as I was watching the preview edition of the film, when I first saw it all those months ago, I just thought, yes, Black Manta has everything. Now, the difficult thing is he's got this mask on. So you've got to be able to see. So I think there's got to be times where he's Black Manta, but you've got to see the actor. You've got to see the emotions of the character. So if they can do this dual role thing, I think you've got something special. So you've got to get a special kind of talent to write and direct it. I doubt James Wan would be interested, but he could do a great job. But I think who could do a good job of Black Manta? Chris Nolan. Chris Nolan isn't doing much right now, so that will be interesting. But I doubt that would happen. But there's so many talented people. And maybe if Geoff Johns wants to write it and someone else comes in and directs it, that'll be very interesting as well. Because we know Geoff Johns isn't in charge of the DCEU anymore. But what's great is he's still involved with his production company. He's writing right now Green Lantern Corps. Really excited to see what Geoff does with that. I know some of you DCEU fans, my fellow DCEU fans, don't like Geoff Johns. You feel it was his fault that Zack Snyder was kicked off Justice League. Look, it was a very ugly situation, wasn't it? You've got him in an interview with Vulture telling them that when he was trying to make suggestions for Man of Steel, he was being ignored. These are the kind of, and you had Henry Cavill coming in and saying, whatever happened with Marvel, we still would have struggled. So they were trying to spin situations to jump the Justice League box office up while, throwing Zack Snyder under the bus. And as much as I love Henry Cavill, as much as I love Geoff Johns, and I'm a big fan of his ever since he started writing for Smallville. He'd done a couple of 2 or 3 episodes for Smallville, and I loved them. And that's when I realised who he was. But, the behaviour and, you don't throw each other under the bus in those situations. So Walter Hamada's come in now and he said, shh, you do your job, I'll do my job, and we'll deal with Zack. We'll sort the Zack situation. And I believe he will sort the Zack Snyder situation because the way Zack was treated was despicably. But yeah, I'm still a Geoff Johns fan. That behaviour wasn't right, but I still love Geoff Johns. And I'm absolutely in agreement. We must see a Black Manta standalone movie.